Yo, hello! Just like loud as shit, sorry. Welcome in, everybody! Another podcast day. Let me just make some announcements, sorry. Today is a day. Welcome. Happy Saturday. Hell yeah. Heck yeah! Saturdays are epic. I hope you're having a great one and enjoying your weekend. Today we're going to be talking about VTuber hot takes with the Cineroll, okay? The one and only. Let's go. All right, and that's announced. Sweet! Anyway, welcome everyone. As you know, we're doing a podcast today, the Dumpster Fire Podcast. If you don't know what the Dumpster Fire Podcast is, it's a podcast here where we talk about some experiences and things that VTubers don't normally talk about. So that way we can basically share information and hopefully learn something new about VTubing, help us navigate this weird, strange world of VTubing, and just, maybe talk about things that you don't normally talk about, So it's pretty epic. I just burped, sorry. Anyway, just again, due to the podcast style, Senna and I will not be actively engaging with the chat. If we do engage with the chat, we'll make sure to mention, what we're talking about and who said it, and for those of you who are listening in. But we will tend to avoid interacting with chat, but please do chat and share your experiences, your thoughts, your ideas, because we are seeing it and we do really appreciate it. We think all of you are awesome. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you for supporting Senna. Thank you for supporting me. I'm so excited to have Senna here today because honestly, obviously y'all know Senna's awesome. And Senna's got a lot of experience and stories to tell and tea to spill. And more importantly, advice to give and to discuss with me and everybody else here, to get a new perspective on this thing called VTubing. Anyway, but yeah, very excited. Please do check Senna out. You can check out her YouTube, which is added in the title. You can also check out her Twitch, which is where they're most commonly active and streaming. So yeah, that should be in the comments as well as in the description. But obviously y'all already know Senna because Senna's amazing. So, Mod, if you could just let me know how the music is. Oh, sorry, you already did. Thank you. Music's a smidge higher, which I'm doing right now. I just want to make sure it's not overpowering like Senna and me. Okay, me and Senna. All right, but mostly Senna. I'm too loud for my own good. Anyway, but yes, I'm very excited to be talking about VTuber hot takes, and just hanging out with y'all and hearing what Senna's been through. And obviously that sounds kind of trashy, like not like that, but just like learning. I think it's always nice to get another perspective, and I think Senna's really gonna be able to give that to us today. So yeah, I think without further ado, let me get Senna on here, because I know that's what we're all excited for. You hear me talk all the time, so anyway. Mod, also just let me know if the music's too loud, but alrighty, and let me get boom. Oh, look at her, she's so cute. It's a Cineroll.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, hello.
It's good to see everyone.
Yes.
And of course, it's good to be here with Kōri.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. Heck yeah.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes, of course. And we had to. We know that the Cineroll's got the hottest buns and tea with the you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
No, I get what you mean. I get what you mean entirely. Got the hottest buns and the hottest tea. And tea I do have. I have much tea. Definitely a lot of tea with like each hot take I have. But probably the most tea I have comes from our first hot take. Mm-hmm. To which I've got to say, my dudes, and this is a hot take for a reason, the VTuber community, get ready for this.
All right, I'm ready.
It might be shocking for some of y'all.
Drum roll. Dun, 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 dun.
the VTuber community is actually really fucking two-faced. I'm gonna be honest with all of you. It's pretty two-faced. And yeah, I say that because, well, you guys, for those of you who don't know, two-faced is pretty much, it's the equivalent of somebody being like not sincere. Like they say nice things to your face and then behind the scenes they're actually an asshole. Senna has met quite a few people like that. Like, what's the best example I can probably give would be okay, let's call this person Blue.
Okay,
Blue and me had met through me rating Blue. I had just found Blue at random, I'm pretty sure, like early on when I still had blue hair, that pretty far back.
Oh, that's right. Oh my
yeah.
god, I almost forgot about that era.
The blue hair era, the hot name. But Blue and me had met through me rating Blue. And Blue was pretty nice in the beginning. Blue was very nice. We got along, we had fun. And then Blue was like, he was a pretty cool dude. We got along and all that nice jazz. We even collabed together and played Phasmophobia. But at some point, Blue started showing some different colors. Different colors being, Blue showed two sides to himself. One was that he was very obviously very into me and wanting an online fling. Can you give us an example? Like what was something that Blue did to show that? Like how'd you get that like sign? Well, we actually had called a few times off stream, just chatting with each other. And Blue was very straightforward with giving me like compliments, saying I sounded cute or I seemed cute. Among a few other things. He said one thing to me when I said I had sleep problems. I'm not gonna go into detail on that for good reason. Good reason.
Okay, I can imagine, unfortunately. I'm cringing.
And it literally, I was like so shocked by it. And I thought it was so shocking and jarring. I cracked up laughing because I was like, ain't no way you just said that.
Ain't no way.
We ain't even known each other, what, maybe 2 months at most, and you just said that to me.
Oh my god. People really be like that though. Like I don't know. Okay, as far as like the VTubing community, I think the worst that I've had as far as like somebody seemingly try to romantically connect with me was just kind of like someone lying about having a girlfriend so that way they could talk to me about the fake girlfriend problems.
Oh my god.
I think that was like the worst, but like I haven't really gotten a lot of like weird like comments at me necessarily. But I don't know. I mean, it's weird. I did go on like this one like IRL like, I don't know if you want to call it date. I really don't like calling it a date. But like within like 20 minutes of like meeting this guy that we just found each other on one of those stupid dating apps. And like he was trying to like kiss me within like 20 minutes.
No.
And I was no, thank you. I was like, I'm not gonna kiss you. Like, thanks, but no thanks.
No tact at all.
It's so cringe.
Couldn't even wait to see at the end of the day if there was any chemistry. Just like
legit. I didn't even eat yet. Like, let me eat my goddamn food first. Like,
at least let me nibble something first.
Get my onion breath.
Damn.
Oh my god. Anyway, sorry, I had to derail there, but go ahead.
No. I get that entirely. Oh my god. But Blue, was very straightforward. The Blue had a thing for me. And while Blue never outwardly said like, "Oh, I want to fling with you," that's what it would have been, like an online freaking fling thing.
What is
obviously,
what is like that? Like, what is an online fling? Is it just like?
It's the best way that I can describe it from what I've seen from people is like, I want to talk to you like you're a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a partner. We can have mature sexual talks or whatever, but like, we're like miles and miles or oceans and countries apart, so I don't want anything actually serious with you.
Oh, that's so crazy. I've never heard that term, like online fling.
I just call it online fling. There's probably a better slang term, but I like just call it that.
That makes sense.
And Senna don't roll for stuff like that at
Heck
all.
no.
So like,
We have
I
standards,
just found
everybody.
it funny. That's not to say I don't like. I was like upset that he was flirty towards me. Somebody being flirty does not bother me. It's the whole very obviously trying to get somewhere with me thing.
Right,
When we
uncomfortably.
barely know each other.
Right.
Yeah. But that was number one. But the second thing with Blue was Blue had a viewer, and Blue's viewer had some interesting views on ladies and their careers.
Oh no.
Yeah. I was having a discussion on one of my streams with a friend, because the friend just joined in. It was at a point in the very beginning where I would just let friends just join in on stream whenever. And we were giving our opinions on certain things, like, oh, I think this, and this, or oh, I think this is cool, or whatever, or something along the lines of like, oh, yeah, I respect this line of work because, you know, they gotta make that money. And that viewer got very vocal about what they thought, and they were like, you can't support that. And I'm like, So that viewer got banned. That viewer also tried to have political talks in my Discord, which was a big no.
No.
Yeah. The viewer even brought up somebody who is a very controversial person in media, and I'm like, no. So they got the ban and the block from me, and I went to tell Blue. And you know what Blue said to me? So I had called them like, I had referred to this person as like, I have no other way to put it besides just extreme Nazi-like views is what I'm gonna put it as.
Yeah, okay.
And Blue's, when I referred to that viewer that way, Blue was like, you can't refer to them that way. And I'm like, why not? They said, you're making a blanket statement, number one. I'm like, okay, maybe. But the second thing Blue said that really stood out to me, and this one really stood out to me, is they're like, they can't have views like that because they're not even white.
And
I'm like, oh my God, that's one blaring red flag in my face. That is a blaring red flag. And he was like pretty much getting on to me, it felt like, during this whole thing, hence the two-face thing,
right,
of being nice on camera and everything and in public, but then behind the scenes during that call, Blue was like talking to me like I was a bit of a child.
Oh no,
like I was a child that needed to be corrected.
What the heck?
And I'm like, ain't no
way.
You talking to me about this when I just witnessed this in my own fucking Discord.
Yeah.
That you can go see because it was in the general chat at the time. And it was just insane.
Right. I hate that like some people think like you're telling them about a problem just because, like, how do I explain this? It sounds bad, but like, just let me cook. But basically, like, you try to tell somebody, thank you. You try to tell somebody about a problem, and they're not looking for like an answer or solution to that problem. You're just like, hey, this really like upset me, and that's like really what you're trying to say. But then they have to like go and just say some weird shit, like focus on weird shit about what you said, and all you're looking for is just like reassurance, like, hey, that is weird. You know what I mean? I feel like there's too many people out there like that just don't do that.
The thing was, I wasn't even looking for like reassurance. I was telling him like, hey, this happened. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think you should have him in your community. He doesn't seem good.
Oh, so you're just trying to look out for him.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna sit there and dictate what somebody does and who they ban or whatever, because like, that's not my place. That's not my community. That's not my community to run. That is not my place. It wouldn't be right.
Yeah.
But he immediately assumed I was wanting him to ban and block this person, which admittedly, yeah, I would have preferred and liked that very much so. But like, obviously not my community and shit. But I was just warning him, and he instead got on to me like that. And I was like, oh no, we are not friends. You are not my friend for sure.
Yeah.
Especially after that, because I was like, there's gonna be so many blaringly red flags after this. Because the first one was what he said to me, and I'm like, okay, just overly flirty. We can easily put a pin in that. We can easily nip that in the butt and have boundaries set. because people can be like that. They can be a little overly flirty, and it's like, oh, hey, I'm only comfortable with this much. Can we slow it down or not do that at all? And that stuff's easy to talk about. That's communication.
Yeah.
This though, this was a whole thing of me being like, my dude, you are supporting somebody who it's just like, dude, this person's problematic for me, especially considering the fact that this person expressed views in my Twitch chat, in my Discord, that were not only making me uncomfortable, but were kind of against who I am as a person.
Right, yeah.
And I don't just mean like my beliefs, I mean like just how I'm born.
Right, okay, yeah, right.
And it's like, yeah, no, that ain't gonna roll with me.
Yeah.
Goodbye. And I'm not proud of this one, but I slowly kind of stopped talking to him, like made it seem like we drifted apart. I didn't outright ghost him, but it's like I slowly pulled away, like.
Right, but like that's the only thing you can really do. Like if you want to like try to keep the peace without like, you know, like you kind of have to just fade away. You know, that's kind of like one of the main ways to just kind of just get yourself away from the problem and like, you know, say goodbye to it almost, is just to like fade out in the distance.
Oh yeah, that is like 100% what I did with a lot of the problematic people I've met, and thankfully that's worked every time so far. Is like when I've met a problematic person, it's like, I'm gonna slowly disappear. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And thankfully it's worked. The only is like I've had recent drama this year. That like I'm fading away, but it's like I feel like the person's keeping tabs on me, sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like we're not talking or not even interacting with each other. We don't even like each other's post or anything, but like it's that thing where you know they're watching.
Oh, dude, I'm in the same boat. That's crazy. I'm in the same boat as you. That's, oh my god, how things
and that
align.
leads to hot take number 2 that also does combine with hot take number 1. So I have more stories on this, and hot take number 1, like I said, VTuber community is two-faced, and you'll meet a lot of people like that. And actually, a good solution for that, besides like, you know, doing the slow fade away in case you do meet a person like that, is like just be very wary of who you're around. Like obviously be very wary and keep your personal info safe, because like you don't want those people to know anything about you. You would prefer it, especially if they're the kind to make everything public. Like, I mean, constantly everything. And it's not like, oh, I don't want this situation to get out because it's gonna make me look bad. No, it's a whole thing of like, they're gonna just spread your business and your personal info. Like, you share with them, oh, I had this kind of small traumatic experience. And they're like, hey, Twitter, guess what? Me and this person aren't friends anymore, and this happened to them, and this is why they're this way. And I'm like, my God, please.
Yeah, I know. I was actually, one of like my kind of hot takes was that like VTuber, or I mean, I've seen this in a lot of communities, so it's not just VTubers, but definitely VTubers, like especially VTubers in a way, like they will use any excuse to like, most of them will use any excuse to like post about drama. Like I don't know how many posts I've seen that like seem like, to me it was like that this is so fake, because you know, like people, I don't know if you remember this, but there's like a while ago there was like this trend that it was basically a trend, but like people were posting fake drama, and I could just tell because it was just like, you know, it was like
fake drama.
Yeah, it was so dumb. It literally was like a screenshot of their DMs, and it's like somebody, it literally is like, oh, Kōri hater 233, and then it's like, oh, you're such a potato, this and that.
You'll never be a good VTuber. You'll never make a TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. That was real.
That shit was real. There were real people making that shit up. I just want you all to know that shit was real.
It was so weird. I was like, why are you faking, like, it's just so dumb. Like, you're just faking drama for attention. And there was like literally so many people that I saw post like seemingly fake drama, and like I get like some people use the excuse, but like, so there's some real reasonings, like, oh, this person is like a predator to like certain people, or like, you know what I mean? Like that makes sense to me. Like you're warning your community about someone who potentially could mean or do harm to others. That's fair. But what I don't get is just like people like, okay, this is also gonna be kind of hot take, but like I see a lot of, and this is very controversial, like not very controversial, but like I feel like within the community it can be a little bit controversial, but like there's a lot of like not to call people out, but there's like a lot of like there's a lot of like NSFW or LewTubers that I tend to see complain about the kind of viewers that they get, and like not that obviously, like I don't want anyone to have nasty viewers, don't get me wrong, like I don't wish that upon anyone, but I just mean like Same. They are like the way that they I've seen someone complain about getting donations and money from a viewer, but then like getting weirded out by that viewer because they kept donating, asking like for more, and that's fair, but like then they would just like I literally, like just the other day I've been seeing this one NSFW streamer post about the same person, like the same viewer, for like the past like 2 weeks. Every day they posted about them, and like it's not like, just block them, you know, like it is hard. Like I get like, okay, you have to make your money, but also like they're paying you money because you're saying that you have a service, and like if you want to not offer that service, then just you can say no and not accept the money. But I see
exactly, that is true,
right? But I see like a lot of like NSFW, like no offense, but I see like a lot of people just like, okay, money, but then complain about getting uncomfortable when I don't know, like when they do get those strange viewers. And I feel like
get those parasocials,
right? Right, exactly. But it's like there's a way to deal with that, and I just feel like it's like just putting them on blast every day on Twitter is like not the way to do that. And also like
it's not.
Yeah,
there's solutions and ways to handle situations like that, and that is not fixing anything. That's just stirring the pot. You're being a pot stirrer.
Yeah, 100%. Another thing that like the story that I heard, I didn't experience this, but someone told me that they were once like they were modding for like another like bigger NSFW streamer, and I guess like the streamer was told like their mods like don't like if they can't chat in my chat unless they're donating or subscribed, and like they like basically like if they're not donating then just ban them.
Like if they're not paying me money, I don't want them here.
Yeah, basically. And I was like, what the hell? That's so fucked. Like, why would you like? And like, they were telling their mods to do that. Like, just like, how does that make someone feel? I don't know. That's so weird.
It's so weird to me. I mean, business is business, but then there's shooting yourself in the foot, shooting your business in the foot. My dude, you just did that. That's not how you grow.
Right, exactly. And it's just so like rude. Like maybe they don't have the money for this month, you know what I mean? In the next month they will give you the money, but you banned them before they could give you that money in the next month, you know? I don't know, people are so strange.
It's so weird. And on topic with what you said, again, I also agree. Nothing against anybody that is a LewTuber and stuff. Like I've met people who have done NSFW stuff, and nothing against them. Yeah. If that's what they like, go ahead. If it makes them a lot of money, hey, make that fucking money.
Yeah.
The only thing I have to say is if you take that route in life, if you decide to go through that journey, you have to be mentally prepared. And I've seen it happen. You have to be prepared. You are going to get harassed, and probably more so than the average VTuber. Yeah. You are sadly going to get people who are extra parasocial. You're going to get people who are extra sexual towards you. Yeah. You're going to get people who are going to make you uncomfy, and you're going to get people who are going to give you tons of money, but they're going to be weirdos. And you have to decide, where are my boundaries? Where do I stop it? Where is it okay? When is it too much? You have to decide that. And sitting there and complaining doesn't make it better. You have to get up and change it yourself. If you don't like what this viewer is doing, you're gonna have to change it yourself. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to offer that service they keep asking for, you just have to change the service, change the terms, do what you gotta do.
Preach, honestly. Nah, that
you just have to be ready though. That shit comes with being a LewTuber and stuff.
Yeah,
that 100%. Shit comes with it, just like how there's shit that comes with just being an influencer in general. Whether you're a regular streamer or a VTuber, you're gonna get harassed, hate raids, bots. You're gonna get people coming in throwing slurs and shit, whether they're directing them at you or not. It is just something that happens, and you have to have like a goodwill a tough willpower. You have to have that high willpower and tough, thick skin.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta let that shit roll off your back.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, they'll always be wary because there are people who are dangerous that will be weirdos and come out the woodwork.
Right, exactly.
But for a vast majority, you just gotta be ready for them like that.
Yep. And like you said, they're like you just talked about the two-faced stuff. Like some people seem nice, and then like once they get in your DMs or they just like blow up. You know what I mean? Once they get past that threshold.
Oh my god! Out onto the two-faced that also goes into the hot take number 2. VTuber community is fake. Okay, this is somebody I think you actually knew at some point. Let's call them Night.
Okay.
Let's call them Night.
Okay.
Night was somebody I rated into because they also had a similar theme to me, food themed. And we were, in the same section of streaming. So I rated into Night and met Night, and Night was very kind, very sweet. He seems pretty cool.
Okay.
He was, of course, a little flirty, but it's not like the last one. It wasn't like Blue. It was not like Blue at all. It was like he was being a gentleman kind of flirty, like milady and everything.
Milady.
Like he was playing up the role.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing up the role he had, which was like a knight. But what made Knight two-faced and fake was Knight had wanted to get into a certain section of streaming. And I had a friend who was in that section of streaming and was a major VTuber in that section of streaming he wanted to be part of. So he wanted advice, and I said, you can ask them about it. Just message them in their DMs, or like you can hit them up on their stream. They don't mind, because they were very open about it, and at the time they were very much like sharing their, I guess, secrets of the category and how they succeeded in it.
Okay. So
they were doing that. And Knight had messaged them, but here's the thing: that friend came to me and was like, "Yo, Senna, check out what this dude is sending me." So they're a very busy person. It's like, they couldn't answer DMs at the time right then and there, because like busy person, they actually would get sponsorships and shit, and like they were busy being a content creator. Basically, Knight, though, when he didn't get an immediate response, and his response when he first messaged was like an introduction, like a VTuber introduction. It was like, "Hello, my name is Knight. I'm this, and this."
Okay.
And all this, and this.
Milady.
Like he was promoting, like he was self-promoting and role-playing up in the DMs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But the thing was, as soon as that friend did not respond to him immediately, because, busy, he was like, "Oh, I see. You do not wish to be friends. I see how it is. You do not wish to talk to me and be friends."
No.
And I saw these messages they were showing me, and I'm like, this motherfucker. I was trying to be nice, and you immediately go to harassing my friend because they didn't immediately talk back to you. Like, what the hell, man? Why'd you go 0 to a fucking 100? What happened there? What happened? Where was the disconnect?
I know. Oh my god.
It was fucking nuts. And then had the audacity to still be nice to me and raid me and everything, and I had distanced myself already. I don't know how he didn't pick up.
So
he was
it's awkward.
I played up pretty good, though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think anybody could tell that I was no longer comfortable with him. I don't think a single person could tell. I've gotten real, I hate to say this, but my amounts of times talking to people who I no longer wish to talk to, really, the amount of time I've learned how to bullshit pretty well because of them.
You're doing so well right now, Senna. Like, just kidding.
God damn, I've been outed. But literally, this dude had messaged me at one point. And I like have the screenshots just in case he started shit too, because I didn't trust him.
Read it. Okay. Come on. Yes.
Okay. I got you. Obviously, they're not going to be shown on stream.
Yeah.
We're not sharing names or anything. But
Right. Yes.
I have the screenshots still. I never got rid of them because I'm just lazy.
No, I feel that. No, keep it forever. I have like a whole folder, okay, and I'm not gonna delete them because like you never know when that might come in handy, okay?
Oh yeah, I call it the folder of people. a folder of special people.
Special people.
Because they're special, all right? They're the people I usually want to punch in the face nowadays now. But it literally was like, they started out like this. They were like, "Bonjour, Senna. Would you like to play something together sometime?" And this was the day after, and for those of you who don't know, this is something I had to do, and I hated that I had to do it, but I had to do it. I did have to twit longer somebody once in my life. I did have to do that, and I hated that I had to do that. And that will lead into the hot take 3, but we'll get back to that later. But I had basically been having a rough day because of that. Because I had been worrying about that the entire day. I was anxious as hell.
Right, yeah.
But I said back to him, I said, sadly, don't think I will be able to. I've been working on a lot of stuff lately, like things for my Live 2D debut. I've only been able to really plan in the upcoming weeks for my collab with somebody. I was having a collab, I forget who. The name's here, but like, you know. I also have lots of IRL stuff happening right now that's taking up a lot of my time, so I sadly just don't really have the time. And his response was, "Oh, I see that you aren't too interested."
Oh my god!
I believe I have not specifically asked if you would like to be friends. Would you like to? And it's like this guilt trip immediately lays on, and I'm like,
oh my
what
god!
The hell?
I hate they use the word friends. Ew.
I don't dislike being friends with people. There are people I'm friends with.
Yeah.
But it's like me and those people like either really vibed and we could be friends, surface level friends.
Yeah.
And then there's people who I call my close friends. And of course I have my best friend. But like this is not how the friendship thing works for me specifically. It's like, would you like to be friends? It's one thing if you ask me, oh, can I consider us friends? And I'm like, oh, okay, I can give confirmation of that. But it's another to just ask to be friends.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it feels so awkward. I'm like, I don't think we vibe enough to call each other friends.
Yeah, it's like you just want the title. Like, what does it mean to be your friend to you? You know?
To me, to be my friend, at least my definition, and a lot of people don't follow this definition I've learned. Just like how you said a lot of people don't follow your definition of friend. For me, a friend is somebody who doesn't just hang out with you. They're there for you when shit gets rough. You'll be there for them when shit gets rough. You can be each other's ride or die. You can support each other. You can help each other. You can give advice. You, of course, like any other like relationship, be platonic or romantic, will have spats, but you'll come back, communicate, and try to work things out. It's like you will put effort in.
Yeah.
And if you're my friend, I put effort into our relationship.
Yeah.
Whether it be platonic or anything else. That's how I roll. If I put work in, you know I'm serious. If I go the extra mile, yeah, I consider you a friend, or I want to consider you a friend. But it's like that's kind of how my definition of friendship works, and I want the same work back towards me. But people who just want the title just to say I'm their friend, no, you don't roll with me. You don't vibe with me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you just don't. And to Mr. Knight, after that comment he made and everything, and him literally seeing my Twitter and seeing that I had twit-longered somebody that exact day and everything, was quite angry. And I said, Knight, you have always been very kind, but this phrasing is quite rude. I have given you reasons, and one of which is very glaringly obvious if you looked at my Twitter. I am too busy and I'm going through quite a bit right now. I don't believe I wish to be friends now after what seems to be you pushing everything I am saying aside and assuming it is based on a lack of interest. Still, I hope you have a good day. Please do not contact me again.
Ooh! Let's go.
I have learned to be very professional.
Yes.
When it comes to that shit, because I know I'm all haha funny, and it probably seems like sometimes I'd be the kind of person to say, just fuck off, I don't want to talk to you. And while there may be moments where I'm worked up emotionally, and yeah, I'll be that way, but a vast majority of the time, I've kind of learned to just be professional with it.
Yeah.
Like, I talk like I'm talking about business, because that's usually the best way to address that stuff, is just take it on like a business approach. Write it out like you are doing a business deal.
Yeah, I think...
And that's the best way to put it.
No, you're right. I agree with that 100%, because I think like a lot of people in general have a really hard time detaching emotion from words, like especially in like a community like this that like I feel like, no offense, but a lot of people don't know, obviously you don't know how to talk to people, and maybe you've never had like a career or still going through university, so you're still learning like how to communicate effectively. And
I feel that.
Right, and I feel like there's so many people, like, I don't know how many times, like, I think really hard about, like, the way I phrase things and the way, like, when I'm writing at least, not when I'm talking, but, like, when I'm writing things out in messages, like, I think really hard about what I'm saying and, like, how it could emotionally be perceived or just, like, surface value be perceived, like, maybe that's just part of the English degree, but, like, I think really hard about that. But I also, like, I've come across so many people that, like, when you try to be, like, professional with them, like, they don't understand that there's, like, I'm just talking professionally, like, there's no emotions attached to, like, what I'm saying.
There is no love, hate, anger.
Yeah.
It is indifference.
It's
it
indifference.
Is, like,
yeah.
the opposite of anything else. It's the opposite of emotions. It's indifference. It's, like, nothing.
Yeah, exactly. There have been people that, like, I've, like, commissioned before. There were some people that, like, I knew already and wanted to support them, so I decided to, like we were, like, I don't want to say friends, but we were, like, you know, we were chill with each other, we knew each other, like, we talked a little bit, and, like, I saw they had, like, commissions or wanted to do something, so I was like, oh, how about, like, I commission you for that, and, like, I, like, created, like, our own, like, chat, like, for that, like, a separate chat for that, so that way it's not like I'm talking to them in like, a personal DM, like, I'm talking to them in a professional, different designated chat, right? So I'm like,
yeah.
So we talked there, and then, like, I also talked to them in, like, the personal chat, and there was just, like, a couple times where, like, there'd be, like, why are you talking to me, like, different? Like, you're so, like, rude and, like, cold and, like, angry at me in the professional chat.
What?
And yeah, and then, like, in our personal chat you're, like, friendly and fine, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't, like, I had to very nicely, like, say, like, I'm not trying to be rude, I'm not angry.
No way.
Yeah, no, it was really dumb, like, and it happened, like, a couple times. It was, like, really weird, but and that kind of proves the point that, like, people just don't know how to, like, process, like, words, and, like there's a time and place for things, as Professor Oak said, you know what I mean? And I just feel like,
yeah,
they don't understand, like, when I'm talking professionally, it's not to, like, harass you, it's not to attack you, it's not even, like, because I love what you're doing, it's just because it's just indifference. There's nothing to it at all.
It's just business, dude.
Yeah.
That's not to hurt anybody. Like, that is just business, my dude. Like, you may be chill and vibe with somebody, but at the end of the day, when it comes to stuff like commissioning or doing work together, or sometimes even collabs, it's just business, dude. That doesn't mean later on there can't be, like, a friendship there or something, but, like, it's a business, dude.
Yeah.
And you don't even know each other so well, so you shouldn't be like, oh, why are you talking to me different? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, be 100 with y'all. If you start talking like that to somebody, you sound like a girlfriend who feels like who sound like one of those girlfriends who complains about their boyfriends or their partners, like, drifting away, like, why don't you talk to me anymore? Honey, you don't know them. You don't know that person.
Oh my god. So now you're hitting, like, on so many things right now. You have no idea.
No, they don't know. They're, like, trying to put a relationship there that was never there. Like,
right.
My dude, I just commissioned you. We can vibe and chill. Maybe be friends in the future, but we're just right now we are customer in dealer.
Right. Exactly. It's so, oh my god. There's been a couple of people that I've come across, like, multiple times. One of them you probably remember, but like, you know, like, where they had, like, a relationship, but they were using, like, me to, like, fill a gap that they had in their really toxic relationship. Yeah, using it, well, not just a therapist, like, that's one, like, yeah, sort of a therapist, but also just, like, to, like, fill a gap in their toxic relationship. Like, I literally had someone flip out over, like, me not talking to them for, like, a week. Like, I didn't talk. Yeah.
That is nuts.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's not even, like, a pay period for me, you know? Like, it's just crazy, like, how I'm not in a relationship with you. Like, why would I talk to you every day? Like, they complained about, like, not talking to me as much and things like that. And I'm like, I'm not your significant other. I can't do that. Like,
okay. Well, I won't diss people for wanting communication with, like, people they consider friends and stuff. Because, like, I admit, like, remember I told you that drama that I had happen earlier this year?
mm-hmm.
Part of that drama involved me being ghosted and me just wanting that person to communicate with me.
Right.
And it's not me being like, we need to talk every day. It's something like along the lines of like, I understand like wanting to communicate and talk like at least once a week, once to twice a week. I understand that. That feels normal to me.
Yeah.
Heck, me and my best friend, we usually will talk to each other once or twice a week at the very least. But like, just if you are demanding somebody talk to you every day, I'm sorry, but number one, you don't need to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Number one, you don't need to be in a relationship because you sound like you depend on your partner emotionally for social gratification. And number two, that's just unhealthy, my dude. You need space from people. You need to be able to exist away from somebody without needing their constant attention and to talk to them all the time.
Yeah, no, for real. And I think like I don't know, like just trying to like relate this to like the VTubing community as like a whole. I do feel like a lot of VTubers are obviously like we're all lonely in some ways, especially after like what happened in the world with like the big C and whatnot. We're all trying to find things to do.
Big.
Right. But I just think like it's so I also feel like things like, you know, therapy and like mental health services and whatnot, they're also more accessible, like probably the most accessible. It's accessible.
It's been in a while.
Yeah, exactly, right? And I feel like talking to random people on the internet is just not the way. And then like I felt like a lot of times I got forced to like be someone's friend. Like I never have ever called anyone like, oh yeah, this is my friend, like immediately. But like I have had just people like all of a sudden like, oh yeah, Kōri's my friend, and I'm like my best friend, basically my only friend, and I'm like, don't you think that that's kind of like a red flag?
Do you think that's a little sudden? It's one thing if you've been like hanging out with, because here's an example, somebody who is an ex-friend that I used to hang out with all the time called me their best friend, but that was because we had been hanging out for at least around a year, and it felt like, oh, this has reached a point that it could be considered best friends,
right?
But you don't know this person as well as you think you do. My whole thing is I say people can start considering each other best friends when they start hearing about like the ups and downs, and they can start seeing that side of you when you're in your downs. If somebody can start seeing you when you're at your worst and handle it and still support you, that's a true friend. Yeah. But that person has not seen that. That person has not experienced that side of you. The person has not seen you when you're down. They've only seen you when you're up, or, you know, just neutral. And it's like, dude, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah. Or they just want to, I don't know. I feel like there's just this level of like compromising too. Like I had like a lot of people just not try to understand like how I was living my life. Cause I mean, obviously I don't know about everyone else, but like I live a really like most content creators, like you live a really busy life. But for me, it's like I pretty much like how I live my life is like almost every like second or minute is like planned. Like I have to have an organized day. It sounds awful to most people, but like this is how I chose to live. And like I just got a lot of people that were like, why can't we talk more? Or like, you know, we
I'm sorry, people have lives outside of streaming.
Yeah, I know, unbelievable. Why can't you give me all the free time you have?
Why are you a human being with a healthy life habit? My fucking god, you
damn it.
Normie.
It's so real. I don't know. Some people really just like live on the internet. I feel like they just don't, I don't know. They don't know how to like live their own life, and they're just dependent on anything else. And they don't know how to like, it sounds like so shitty and corny, but like people really, I feel like in the VTubing community, people really don't know how to love themselves. It sounds weird, but it's just like, I feel like they have a lack of like understanding of who they are as a person to even see like how, oh, you know, this is like triggering me, or this is triggering me, and now I'm lashing out at this person. Maybe instead of lashing out at this person, I'd first deal with step one. Why is this triggering me? You know what I mean?
Why does this bother me? Maybe I should get help for it. Maybe I have some unprocessed trauma, and the coping mechanisms I have right now aren't enough to help me when this trauma arises.
Right.
Like, maybe I should learn to, and this is just an example, this is not something that works for everybody, but it helps for some people. Maybe I should take the coping mechanism of stepping out of the room and counting down and breathing, and then I can go back and calm down. Like, maybe I should learn some healthy coping mechanisms.
Right.
Maybe I should get some professional help to learn more. And instead it's like, nope, I'm gonna go to the internet because it fixes all my issues. And while I understand that whole thing of like a majority of your life being on the internet, I kind of live a life like that. And while I'm not going to like say I'm super proud of it, it's like I'm in a position where a lot of my life kind of does take place through the internet because of certain life situations. But like, my dude, even for me, like, I know the healthy boundaries. At least I like to think I know at least enough about them, and I can catch myself before I do anything like stupid, of course, or say anything rude or anything, or react a certain way. Because like, I'm very self-aware, or at least I try to be, that like, hey, I have issues with certain things. Hey, if something comes up that's triggering, take a deep breath, breathe, maybe step away or something. And if it's still triggering and it's not something I can just like, keep away from me, maybe I should learn some more healthy coping mechanisms. Maybe I should go see a counselor, a therapist, a doctor. It's not bad to go to that stuff either. I just want to say, like, I fully support people taking care of their mental health. It's important. You can't I understand keeping your body physically fit, but your mind is also something you have to keep and take care of as well. It's important. Take care of yourselves.
Yeah, take care of yourselves. Very nice. Well said. I 100% agree. And I think, obviously, like, for people who struggle with things like, mental health and whatnot, it kind of, unfortunately, it starts and ends with you helping yourself. You know what I mean? Like, people around you can help, and obviously, like, family, friend support is very vital in getting through those tough times. But like, you have to want it too. You know what I mean?
You
like,
have to want to change is the whole thing. And I've learned that in life. It is, there's a saying: people change when the pain of not changing becomes more painful than change. If that makes sense. I know that sounds a little confusing, but it's like, when you don't, it's like you have to want to change. You have to want it yourself. If you don't, then it's not going to happen, and nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to fix your problems for you. Nobody's going to do that for you. You have friends, you have family, and of course, and they're going to encourage it, but nobody can make you go to the doctor's appointments. Nobody can make you go and talk to your counselor on the phone. You have to actively get up and change yourself. You have to actively try.
Exactly.
And a lot of people in the VTuber community don't want to try.
No, they'd rather be streaming. They'd rather be, you know what I mean? Like, they'd rather be playing their favorite game and streaming because that's what's comfortable. And they just want to be comfortable.
It's like so crazy. And I get that. Because, like, obviously, gaming, even for me, is a bit of a coping mechanism. Oh, life is tough right now. Let's fall into a little bit of a fantasy world. I am a person in a nuclear apocalypse in a game called Fallout. I'm a mage who is trying to save the world in Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm a super cool cowboy in Red Dead Redemption kicking ass. Like, I get it. 100%. I get it. Video games are coping. Streaming is fun. It's nice to talk and chill out with people who you vibe with, or a community you've built that understands you a little bit and stuff. But you can't make them your therapist. They can't fix anything for you. They don't have the tools to. They are not professionals. They haven't trained in this. They don't know healthy coping mechanisms. They don't know how to help you, especially if you're neurodivergent like me and you have very special issues and you need special coping mechanisms, or you have challenges and stuff that you need specific professional help for. You have to go and get that yourself. Nobody can do that for you.
Yeah, 100%. Talking about your we're still in the first one, basically. Well, we did the first and the second, but I wanted to talk about your first hot take about, like, being two-faced as a VTuber. And I mean, I don't know how you feel, so I wanted to ask about it, but like, considering like we know obviously that there's so many VTubers out there that are two-faced, and obviously like you said you experienced that. Do you ever feel like I don't know, I know it affects me, so I'm just curious how it affects you. Like, do you ever feel like, dang, like you're also being two-faced in some way? And like obviously I'm not saying that you're an awful person for doing this, because I do it too.
Oh no, I get it entirely what you're reading. I even admitted to it a little bit, like I guess you can call it being two-faced, but like again, when I explained my stories, like when it came to Night in Blue, when they would show up, I would be super nice, but in reality I wanted nothing to do with them.
Right, yeah.
Of course I didn't go spreading rumors or anything, because like that's not my business, and that's too much drama. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have the energy for any of that.
Yeah,
I don't know how people do. I wish I had the energy. Oh, I'd be so productive with it. But that's another topic for another day. But my point is, like, I do sometimes worry if I'm like coming off two-faced or something. And like I worry about that in more than one way, because like I said, again, being nice to somebody and then like not wanting anything to do with them behind the scenes because they've been problematic for me. But I also do worry I'm a little two-faced seeming, because a little openness right here. Like I said earlier, I am neurodivergent. I am autistic. And like part of coming with neurodivergency is as we grow up, we kind of learn to, I guess, act like normal people. We learn how to fit in with society. We learn what's socially acceptable, even if it's not the real us. So we do a thing called masking, which is kind of like, you have a mask you put on. This is the mask that a majority of society and people see. This is the person that's, normal, functioning, social, maybe even a little charismatic, and they seem like extroverted even. But behind closed doors, you're actually introverted. You like to keep to yourself. You're very different than what you present to people. And like, I do worry I seem two-faced, because like I may come off on my streams like I'm like fucking wild. Maybe I'm a bit of a party girl even. I'm super confident. I have no insecurities, or like I'm super extrovert and I love being social. But the truth is, for like me, I'm very introverted. I like to keep to myself. I just like to chill mostly, and that's just kind of how I am. So like it is a worry that does like hit me, and like the best way I can say to handle it is just try to be self-aware and try to work with your moral compass as best as you can with that stuff, because at the end of the day, it's a complex situation. The best you can do is just try.
Yeah.
Sometimes all you can do is just try, and you know what? As long as you try, I say you've done enough. As long as you try, in my opinion, you did more than most, and that's good.
Yeah. I feel like for me, well, obviously thank you for sharing that with us. And I think for me, like, I always struggle with that moral compass, because I don't like to be, because I feel like I don't like to be a hypocrite, because like I'm out here saying like, oh, people are so two-faced and stuff like that, but like I literally have had to do the same thing, like seem like I'm okay with someone that I am definitely not okay with, and it's just like it's so hard, because like, oh my god, how many times I've just wanted to just like scream, you know what I mean? It's like,
oh no,
I can't.
Get that entirely. Literally, one of my ex-friends has showed up in my stream and subbed to me before, and I literally want to scream at them sometimes. I'm like, why the fuck are you here?
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you in my chat? We don't talk anymore. You haven't talked to me. You ghosted me months ago. Why the fuck are you here? It's literally like that.
Oh god. And it just like puts you in such a shitty situation, because you just have to like, I almost feel like one of the feelings I had when I got more acclimated to the VTubing community, for those of you who don't know, like I didn't know anything about it before, and then like I think much like Cinna, we've just like jumped into it and we didn't know anything about it. So like once I got acclimated into like the VTubing community, I just like realized like how I had to be like the vast majority of the community in some ways, like having to be two-faced. And I remember like coming to terms with that was really hard for me, because I was like, damn, like I really don't want to do this, but like because everybody else acts this way, I have to protect myself.
I've gotta do a fake it till I make it thing to make sure I'm safe, sort of.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's like such a shitty feeling that I don't know. I don't know how anyone can deal with this. You know, it's just like mentally it weighs you down like so hard, going back and forth.
For me, because I will admit I can understand it, though I can't fully relate to the feeling. I admit, because of my neurodivergency and how I grew up, I had that naturally growing up. So it's like a survival thing for me. It's like that's how I'm ensure my survival is, like, by being a bit two-faced. And again, it's not me wanting to be malicious. It's just a thing of like, I have to wear this face so that I can survive. And in VTubing, it's I have to wear this face so I can protect my brand and business.
Yeah, that's true.
It is nothing against nobody. And it's a thing that you don't get told when you first get into streaming at all, or like VTubing, because like VTubing, the VTubing community, sorry if you heard a meow, my cat's very loving and clingy right now. But in the VTuber community, when you first get in there, everybody's like, it's sunshine and rainbows. Welcome. We love you. Welcome. New VTubers. So fucking excited to have you here. But the truth is, you've got to learn some ways to survive that you might not have ever thought you ever needed. Yeah. I've got to fake it sometimes to be okay and act like I'm not bothered by certain people. I've got to play off certain things on stream, because if I play them off, it doesn't seem like, and this is gonna sound so horrible, but it's kind of a thing you gotta do. I have to play off when people say certain things in chat and people come in to be problematic, because guess what? If I show weakness, those people come back and they like to thrive off that because they know it bothers you.
Exactly.
You have to learn to present yourself strong. You have to learn to present yourself a certain way. You have to learn all these things that you would never have thought you had to learn. And yeah, it does kind of come with life in general. These are like skills we kind of do learn naturally through life as well. But when you do learn about them, it's a bit jarring to your moral compass, because you're like, I don't feel like a good person does that. But the truth is, because of the world we live in, and because it's not ideally sunshine and rainbows, we have to learn these skills to protect ourselves, protect others, or just protect our businesses. And that's just how it rolls. I'm not saying it's like right, but like I'm saying people should not feel ashamed that they have to learn these things. It just comes with life, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I think a really shitty example is like when one of the first times I got some really weird drama was when some other streamer basically like D's nuts joked me and like clipped it and like shared it with a friend, and then like their friend and them were like, they were like shit talking me, and then that they sent me a screenshot of the shit talking, was like, oh haha, got you, I shared it with my friend, by the way, here's what we said. And I'm like, why are you sharing me a screenshot of y'all shit talking me? You know what I mean? Like,
number one, why do you think that would make me happy?
Yeah, why would, like, it was like so weird. It was almost like they thought that we were homies, like we were like just that close. You know what I mean? Like we're close enough to like joke about me just like begging you into a really shitty joke. So anyway, now I defend myself by having a D's nuts command. All right, so that's how you do it. I'm kidding.
Nah, I get that, because like I had problematic people, and my defense mechanism for a lot of like problematic not streamers, but like viewers when they show up, and you even saw it with on your Final Fantasy viewers. Like, remember that dude that came in is like, I love you, kiss me. My whole thing wasn't immediately to be like, oh, that makes me uncomfortable, please stop. My whole thing was to be like, I know, I'm like amazing. Everybody wants to fucking smooch me, baby girl. I know, I'm just that great. My defense mechanism is to be overconfident and be like, yeah, 100%. I like roll with it and turn it into a joke.
Yeah.
Because I found that it makes people more comfortable if we can turn it into something to laugh about. And so I turn overconfident, and this probably I learned a little bit, funnily enough, from Markiplier, because he kind of does it.
I mean, that's fair. It's a good way to defend yourself, and also like show that like your joke, like, because most people are like, well, I don't know, some people are obviously very strange, but some people are also like trying to make a joke and make you react. So if you show them that like you're not gonna get a reaction by doing that out of me, you know, or I'm gonna make my own reaction. I'm gonna make my own joke out of the shitty one that you just threw at me. Like, it deters them from, like, trying again, basically. So I found...
Especially if you keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a great, I agree with that defense mechanism. Approved, stamped, boom.
Yeah, stamp of approval.
Yeah, but what? Sorry. So did we talk about the second one? Did you tell us a story? I think you did.
Oh, that was the fake one,
right?
And the two-faced, and then the third one I have, the third hot take. This one is one y'all do need to hear. Everybody needs to hear. Because, again, remember when I said that Twitlonger thing I talked about? This plays into this third hot take. The VTuber community, whether you want to believe it or not, my dudes, is as dangerous as any online community. It is just as dangerous. Regardless of who you are. I don't care if you're living in the South and you are armed to the teeth with every weapon under the sun. It is still dangerous. It is dangerous like any other community. And hello, Kitty Cat, I need you off my desk. But it is dangerous, just like any other community. Like, you need to remember internet safety. You need to remember to be careful. You need to remember to take care of yourself and put your safety first. And I say this because I have two major stories. One, the Twitlonger one, I'm going to be blunt with y'all. That one happened because of somebody who was an ex-friend. Let's call this person Kitty. Okay. The person who I was once upon a time best friends with, Kitty, had invited somebody in, and we'll call them Norwegian Man. Because that's what he was, a Norwegian man.
Okay, great.
So Mr. Norwegian Man had a thing for Kitty. And when Mr. Norwegian Man had been causing issues, like, he had been talking about Kitty and everything and being angry because Kitty wasn't, like, giving him enough attention. He would even come vent to me and stuff. Ew. And all that shit.
That's
and,
so
like,
gross. Sorry.
Me wanting to be, I'm gonna be honest, I was very naive at the beginning of this year. I still had things I had to learn. There's probably still things I need to learn. Me wanting to be a good friend, let them vent, because I'm like, oh, my friend is frustrated. They need a moment to talk. And, you know, I've been a little frustrated with this person too sometimes. And, like, oh, I'm sharing my experiences a little bit. Like, I was still friends with Kitty, and, like, it was nothing malicious against Kitty. It was like, oh, I've had this issue before with Kitty, and we talked about it, sort of stuff. But this person, like, really vented and was like, why do you think they're not spending time with me? Do you think this happened? Do you think that happened? It was like coming up with theories, basically. And eventually it all fucking hit the fan when Norwegian Man decided to, we had a Minecraft server. And that's the funniest thing, that it happened in a Minecraft server. But it was a private Minecraft server we all shared and we all hung out in. Mr. Norwegian Man had covered Kitty's house, and Kitty's like me, spends a whole hell of a lot of time building houses and stuff, like making extravagant builds. Because like I like doing that, Kitty liked doing that, we were all doing that. Yeah. Mr. Norwegian Man covered their house with crafting tables, and it was like covered. It wasn't like just a box over it. It was like covered.
Okay.
And Kitty came in, got pissed off, and like, me and Kitty are no longer friends to this day because Kitty pulls shit like this a little bit. But Kitty basically had gotten so pissed off, they left the friend group chat. Like, we were all in trouble almost, it seems like.
Wait. Sorry. So this was... Dang it, I lost the question that I had.
This is at the beginning of the year.
Was this on stream, or this was like off stream?
Private.
And then...
Private.
Okay, got it.
All off stream, private, not on stream.
Okay, sorry.
But basically, Kitty got pissed off, left the group chat with all the friends. I was sick and tired of the drama, so I like went back, fixed Kitty's house, was upset and everything, complaining. I started telling Kitty about everything that had been happening because I got fucking sick of it because it had been going on for months. And eventually it led to this big blowout, and we were no longer friends with Norwegian Man, and he pretty much got kicked out the group because we were all like, yeah, we collectively don't want anything to do with you. Yeah. And we were pretty smart and good too, because Mr. Norwegian Man, and again, this plays into the hot take of things being dangerous, immediately went to somebody to try and get them to make, he had actual like pictures of like Kitty's face.
Oh my god.
And he went to somebody to have them make fake revenge adult material of them.
Oh my god! Are you serious?
Yes. He wanted somebody to Photoshop and make revenge adult material about them, basically.
Oh my god.
And like,
what? I'm shook right now.
It's like, never would have expected that from him. I was thinking at most he was going to be an asshole that would pop up and cause problems and spread rumors. Like, that's the typical thing you have with issues like that. People are going to spread rumors, they're going to talk shit about you behind your back. Like, that's expected. Maybe they make some accounts and they pop into your chat and cause issues. No, he went straight to actually committing an actual crime.
Oh my god.
And it got to the point that Kitty actually had to go get actual legal help.
Oh my god.
Eventually, we had to actually twit longer the dude. The dude even did his own twit longer, to which he just basically admitted to everything. And everyone's like, you're a moron. But the point being is like, people are dangerous in the VTubing community. This dude was a VTuber. This dude streamed. This dude was active in communities, multiple communities. And he was known in those communities, even though he wasn't like a big VTuber or anything.
Right.
And that is like
streaming. Yeah, like
that's what I mean by I know we all look at the VTubing community. We're like, haha, funny anime girls and boys. Haha, funny booba bounds. Oh my gosh, shit jokes. Oh my god.
Hey, don't call me out. Don't call me out like that. No, just kidding.
Hey, I make shit jokes too. Don't worry, I'll call myself out as well. But my point is, these are still people behind these avatars. I'm still a person. Kōri's still a person.
Yeah.
Those VTubers you watch are still people, and you don't know those people, and those people can be dangerous.
Yeah.
Those people can be dangerous, and you may not like it that you have to think that way, but if you don't, and you don't take those precautions, and you're not extra careful, you end up like Kitty, and Kitty has to go and deal with actual lawyers, actual, like, making complaints and shit, which was hard to do because Mr. Norwegian Man lived in a separate country, but still had to make these files and shit because Mr. Norwegian Man committed a crime, a literal crime. So, like, you got to be careful. And, like, this is just one of the two major stories I have about this. The second one is, like, there is a dude I had in my community that was in, he was kind of like a friend. I wouldn't even call him an ex-friend because we had not been, like, ex-friends or anything. We just didn't talk a lot. We were, like, I guess, surface level kinds of friends. We, like, vibe, sometimes jump into VCs together. And, again, you've got to be careful with people. You don't know what people are actually like behind the screen. Because this dude, it suddenly gets posted on Twitter, and I see it, and I'm like, holy shit, because this dude's in my community. And this dude, turns out, is a predator, has been trying to talk to minors.
Oh my
God. Like, I had to address that in my community, like, oh my gosh, if anything's happened, please somebody tell me. I had to submit, like, also proof from old DMs where he seemed sus or whatever and stuff, because, like, it was just like that. And, like, there was even one night where we were all chatting and dude got drunk and stuff and was, like, he's like crazy shit. Like, the dude had red flags, and that's why I kind of didn't hang out with him so much anymore. But, like, I just thought he was a dude with an alcohol problem because he acted crazy on, like, not on stream, but, like, in a VC because he was a little intoxicated. But come to find out, he's not just some dude with drinking problems. He's a whole ass fucking predator trying to talk to minors.
Oh no.
And like, that shit is insane, and it's real. You have to be careful online. You don't know these people. You don't know what they're like. You don't know what they're doing. And just, if you take up being a content creator, be extra vigilant with your communities, especially in Discord and stuff, because again, there's always bad people lurking.
Yeah. And
while we may a majority of the time just be dealing with the assholes who like to just say shit and talk up a big game,
right? Yeah.
There will always be those nutcases out there that actually are committing horrible crimes, and you just don't know it.
Yeah, that's freaking true.
Yeah, it's really, like, insane.
It's really sad. Like, you know, I remember, like, someone telling me, like, what was it? I don't remember this situation, but they were kind of like, never meet your heroes because something happened with, like, I don't want to explain. I don't know how to explain it without, like, giving things away. But basically, like, I knew someone that like I knew someone that, like, was working or assisting like another bigger content creator, and then like
Feel that?
and they were just like awful. Like they just did not treat them well at all, the bigger creator. And so like when they said like, you know, never meet your heroes, it's almost like I kind of feel like that's how I think what more so it is like I'm kind of like at the point where I don't, unless like I've talked to you multiple times or whatever, I'm just gonna assume that like, and this is true for everybody, like none of us are perfect, but I'm just gonna assume like until I really think I know you, you know, I'm gonna assume that you are not evil, but just like not the best person either. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
the assumption of you are problematic before you prove you are not.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's a great way to put it. And I think the point of like, yeah, these are all just people hiding behind screens. I mean, at any point in time, they can just show true colors and show. I don't know. Some people also just like change and they see an opportunity and they want like that power trip and they decide to do illegal shit like that. You know?
Oh my god, yes. And it's not even like that's what actually caused the whole me getting ghosted earlier this year. Is like that ex-friend. They didn't do anything illegal, but like they were dangerous in the sense of they kept bringing around dangerous people, and despite the fact that they had multiple times, like it was like new drama every week with them.
Oh,
but
God.
the big issue was they kept trying to befriend people, and it's not that it's wrong to want friends. The issue is you have had multiple experiences with multiple people you've tried to be friends and bring into our little friend group. And every time you've done this person has turned out to be horrible. This person exposes DMs about private conversations about people you're worried about. This person tried to make revenge adult material of you. When does it come to a point when you realize, hey, I get it. You're a big content creator. You think you're untouchable. You think nobody can hurt you. But like, when does it get to the point when you realize, hey, people are dangerous as fuck, and you should be wary of them?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Like, why do you think that people are constant, like, I don't know, maybe like people in this community are searching so hard for like what they call friendships? Like, because obviously like I don't really try, you know, it's not something that like I'm not gonna force something that just isn't there, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't get why like they do it because it works. Like people are constantly doing like looking for friends, summoning circles and shit like that, but it's like, why do you think that people in the VTubing community are like addicted to this like this friend shit, or like the Twitter circle?
I can give a little bit of insight into this because as somebody who's had, and I've stopped now. I've like learned my lesson at this point. It took a third time's the charm for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not perfect. It took me 3 times the charm for me. But I was a person who often sought out friend groups. And I was the person who would try to keep them together no matter what. I played mediator. And I'm not gonna lie, that leads back to some emotional things, probably even some trauma of mine somewhere that I can't quite pinpoint. Like, and I suspect that a lot of people in the VTuber community, I crave friends, I crave acceptance, I crave love, I crave something that I've been lacking in life. And this feels like it will help me find that. So I'm going to use it, even though it may be more detrimental to me than I believe. It is the whole thing of, I'm going to keep finding friend groups, and I'm going to hope that eventually I'll find the perfect friend group. We'll all be friends forever until the day we die, and nothing bad will happen because I'll keep us all together or something like that. It's literally like that. It's a craving for something that you've lacked in life. And like, again, I know this because I kind of was this way until I finally learned after my 3rd friend group, hey, maybe I don't fucking need a friend group. Maybe I just need my small little few people. Like, oh, hey, here's my best friend. Oh, here's like this person that's my friend. And then this person and this person. Here are my 4 to 5 people.
Yeah.
And while they may not all hang out with each other, and we all may hang out together separately or something, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I don't need them all together to have one big friend group. I just need my few friends that I can hang out and vibe with and that I get along with. I don't need to try and get people together to hang out. I don't need to try to do all that. I don't need to try and make this like found family like an anime. Not saying there can't be found families, because there obviously are some found families through friendships. But like, it's something we see in anime. It's something we lack in life. It's something we crave, and that's why people go for it. It's the basics of that. People want something they don't have.
Yeah, it's also like really like high school as well, or like, you know, like, oh, having like a big friend group and like, you know, knowing all these people. You know, I feel like
Yeah.
that's super like
Like
high
a popularity thing.
Yeah,
like, I
right.
want to be popular. I want to be popular.
Exactly. That's exactly it. But I just don't understand, like, yeah, I guess that does give some insight on that for sure. I think, like, I just wish that people could figure, like, how do you tell someone, like, hey, you could find fulfillment in life without, like, being dependent on other people for your happiness? You know what I mean?
But it's like, hard to say exactly what it takes to get to that point. But I guess, like, for some people, at least for me, it was, I got sick of being in one-sided friendships where I put all the work in and nobody put the work in back towards me. Like, it has to be something special that clicks through, because each person's different. For me, that's what it took for me to get it through my head. I don't need a friend group. I just need my friends that I can vibe with, and I don't need them all to be super close, chummy with each other. Right. I just need these few people, and I'm good. It varies from person to person. Some people realize it, and sadly, some people never will.
True. Preach. Snap, snap.
Yeah.
Okay, so the third one was... I'm sorry, my brain's like dead right now. So we just went over your third one. Do you have what else do you want to share with us, like, as far as experiences, or like, are there ways to, I don't know, do you feel like there's any like trends? Like, I know there probably isn't one, but like, have you ever seen like major red flags, or like you've seen something and you're just like, yeah, no, this is 100% like not gonna deal with this? Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. But
witch hunts, the VTuber witch hunt cancellation things.
Oh,
that is, if you want an actual, like, the actual thing to worry about in the VTuber community, you fuck up once and everybody wants your head on a fucking spike. It's that way in the VTuber community. It, like, when it comes to IRL streamers, yeah, they get shit, but for some reason when you're a VTuber in the VTuber community, hot take number 4, or maybe this adds on the theme, the VTuber community is dangerous. If you fuck up, and everybody fucks up, maybe you accidentally call somebody, like, say you're not actually, like, you know, like, transphobic or homophobic, and you accidentally call somebody the wrong pronouns. You do that once. The other person's completely fine. You guys talk about it. Everything's good. But because people saw that on stream, in the VTuber community, regardless of how your friend feels, regardless of what your friend says, regardless of what happens between the two of you, the VTuber community for some reason wants to fucking witch hunt you and like put your head on a spike. Yeah. It's an actual issue. And I just give this as an example. This is not to say that every example has to do with like pronouns or LGBTQ, right, or like your gender identification. This is just an example from what I've seen and what I've got to view as somebody on the sidelines next to somebody who has dealt with this. It's like, it's a thing where you fucked up, you made one mistake, whether it be big or small, but the VTuber community is very known for blowing shit out of proportion. And for some reason, a lot of people in the community are out for blood. And I think sometimes it's because they want to look good and it's for clout. Oh, 100% for clout. Which is another thing to worry about. Yeah. Which is what makes it dangerous community, is that everybody's out for clout, guys. Be very careful. I'm not gonna say, well, everybody, I should correct myself. Most people, a majority, at least 85% of the VTuber community is just out for clout. Yeah. Especially if where they're mostly found at is Twitter and they're constantly on there posting. I'm just gonna be honest. The VTweeters are... the VTweeters are something else. The VTweeters. The VTweeters. As I like to call them. They don't even make content. They're just on Twitter. Yeah, no, legit. Yeah. It's insane. I like that name. The VTweeters. Yeah, I mean, I think we were talking about this earlier for those of you who are just joining in, but we're talking about, like, people
people just like chasing drama to chase clout, and also like making fake drama, and then like nobody, it's so weird that like nobody calls that out. I think I've only seen it like once, that somebody called out like, hey, this looks really fake, or like I'm pretty sure this is fake, you know what I mean? There's this one person that I saw that was like clearly, okay, they were clearly using a voice changer or filter of some kind, and they were like a bigger streamer, and I saw somebody comment on their post, and they were like, because they posted like a video and they were just talking, and somebody was like, they basically were like, oh, you know, like, your voice is really nice and this and that. I think the filter is like a little bit like the filter kind of messes with something and makes you sound a little bit more like raspy, for example. But like otherwise it's all good. And the creator was like, filter ? And I'm like, it's so obvious that you use a filter. Like,
it's so obvious that you use a filter. Nobody's asking about your filter. Why did you make this fake account to talk about the filter?
Yeah, I don't know. It was so strange. I don't know. And I've also seen that too. Like, that same creator made like, how do I explain this? They had like a basically, I mentioned this a couple days ago, but like they're basically doing the equivalent of like the Jake Paul scam, where it's like, I'll show you how to be like the best VTuber ever, and all you have to do is give me money, and I'm gonna give you the full rundown, like a full rundown of how to.
Oh my god! Wait, no, I think I know what VTuber you're talking about, where they were given like consultations on how to become a better streamer.
Yes, exactly, and like, I feel like, so I saw that they had that. Right, they had like a website made for it, and then they also had like a video, like a YouTube video talking about it, right? And like in the comment section, not all I saw, but like maybe like 3 or 4 out of like the 6 or 7 comments that are on there were like obviously bots. Like, they were obviously bots. And what also frustrated me is that anyone who understands like what you can do with like social media can see that like pretty much like at least, I don't know, 70% of their following is bots. So like me, I'm just sitting there like, bro, I don't know, it just sucks though, because like
not the buying of viewers and followers.
Yeah, oh my god, it just sucks because like people fall for it. And like, I'm not saying that I think it's okay, like there's like certain like services out there that help you, like even with like Twitter, right? You can like promote a Twitter post, for example, or on YouTube you can promote a YouTube video, and I think like that's all right, because you're not literally buying like followers and stuff like that. Like, you're pushing your content, you're paying to push your content, and people...
There's a difference between pushing your content and then buying followers and stuff.
Right, exactly.
Pushing your content doesn't guarantee you're gonna get followers.
Right.
I could get 5,000 views on a TikTok. I get 1 million views on a TikTok. That doesn't mean I'm gonna get 1 million followers in one night.
Right. Exactly. And I think like, so that's exactly. People are choosing to like engage with your content, and they can choose not to, even though it's being pushed to them. They can choose not to. But like, literally, there's so many like creators out there that I see just like buying it, and sometimes you can't help it. Like, some people like actually just get followed. Like, I get followed by so many bots.
Same.
Like, it is, yeah, everyone does. All the stupid GFX artists and shit like that.
Oh god, the artists that follow you on Twitter, and then 2 days later they unfollow you when they realize they're not gonna get you to follow them back or anything.
I don't even have them unfollowing me. They don't, like, I want them to not just leave me alone. Like, I don't want these extra numbers. You know what I mean? It's just so dumb. I don't know. But it also sucks because there's actually some people, like someone who commented on one of my Twitter posts before, they're like, description, like their bio and like their name looks like a fake person. They looked like they were a GFX artist, but they weren't. They were actually just like they were an actual person. And what's crazy to me is like, damn, like I can't even tell the difference between a GFX artist and like an actual person anymore. Like, that's pretty scary if you ask me.
See, my whole thing is when they pop up in the DMs, you just make up a lie and say, oh, I know, I've made my own stuff. Or, oh, I know, my best friends made my stuff for me.
Yeah.
You just tell a white lie or a grand lie, or you just tell the truth if you're like me and you make everything yourself. It's just like, hey, nah, I know, I make my own shit. And then they shut up real fucking quick.
Yeah. Smart. I mean, that
it's
makes
always
sense.
the best thing. It's always the best thing, especially when you can say, oh, I know, I've made it myself. And it's like, oh, I can't say anymore, otherwise I'm gonna sound like a rude asshole. And then they just go silent.
And they're like, dang it, I couldn't grab him this time. It didn't work on them. So, sorry, I wanted to ask, did you have any other stories with your last hot take, or I know we went over him, but anything to add on those ones, or major takeaways that you want people to know, or how they, I don't know, again, like, it's just, I wish there was like a certified way to like, hey, here's how you like try, like, don't have to engage with these kinds of people. But it's like so unfortunate, like, if I can't tell the difference between a GFX artist and a regular
and a real artist.
Yeah, I was like, also like, you probably can't tell the difference between when someone's being two-faced or not, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. If I had to give any advice on everything here that I talked about today with you, definitely it'd be, number one, always remember the basic internet rule safety. Always remember the basic internet rule safety. Do not share your personal info. Do not share your face, for sure. With the day and age we live in, especially with technology and AI stuff, like I just told you, like we've already seen a report, like with the whole Pokimane situation, if you ever kept up with that, when there was fake, adult material made of Pokimane with AI and everything. Be extra careful with your stuff. Be careful with your info. Be careful with your face and everything. It's all very precious stuff you need to protect. Do not just give that shit out lightly to people. You really should not. That's one thing I definitely want people to take away from this. Second, keep you and your feelings safe. That probably comes from me being a bit jaded and distrustful after all I've experienced in the VTuber community, but I would say protect you and your emotions. Do not get super attached to people right off the bat. You can be cool with people, you can probably be a little disappointed if things don't work out, but don't get super invested in somebody emotionally. Don't immediately go like, we're the best of friends.
Oh yeah.
Forever. We're gonna be best friends until the day we die. Don't get like that immediately off the bat with somebody, because what you need to do is you need to just be chill with people and get attached as time goes on. Do it healthily. Don't immediately jump into the whole thing of we're best friends forever. Yeah. Because that shit hurts when you can't be friends with somebody, when you immediately get like attached to them, because it's like, oh, I just found out this person, in my case, was defending somebody with extreme Nazi-like views.
Right.
Though sometimes you will have those hiccups, of course, where, like, for me, instance, like I've said before, I got ghosted by my friend Kitty, which that whole situation was a whole mess. That's a whole story, too. But my point for that being, like, you can have those two-facers who will be your friends for, like, a long time, but will also, turn around and then suddenly you're not friends anymore. You don't have what they want anymore. Yeah. Or something. And just like, you will have those happen too. Yeah. Because even despite if you follow my advice with the first one, the second one can still happen. To which I say, just when that happens, remember to take care of yourself. Healthy coping mechanisms. Just like, be prepared to take care of yourself and be kind to yourself when bad things happen with people. If there's anything I can definitely get people to take away from this, it's like, when you go through some shit, just be nice to yourself for a few days. Be kind, be caring, because that shit's rough. And I know for sure it's rough for a lot of us, because we get taught about, like, romantic relationship breakups and how they don't last. Nobody teaches us to get ready for the friendship breakups.
Oh yeah, I know. That's not something
nobody.
Yeah.
It's something that surprisingly enough needs to be talked about more in life. I feel like there's breakups with relationships, and then there's breakups with friendships. And
nobody teaches you about that. Like,
yeah,
those are a lot. I feel like a lot more, like, not a lot more, but they can be pretty, like, mental too. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Obviously, people in general are hard to deal with. Just don't deal with them at all. Just run. I'm kidding.
Just run.
Just run.
People are overrated. Just surround yourself with animals. You'll like it more.
There you go. Exactly. That's what I would like to do. Just live on a farm in the middle of nowhere. It's just
Honest
goodbye.
to God, I would just like to go live in a house in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of kitty cats.
Aww.
Call me the mysterious cat lady in the woods.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Call me the mysterious cat girl.
Oh my god, let's go.
Yeah, that's right. I have a cat girl toggle.
Yeah, the best toggle. Now we can share the wagging of tails.
Oh yeah, the cat girl.
Oh yeah,
toggle.
let's go, raccoon girl.
Yeah, but beyond those two, the other thing I have to say is just be kind to yourself and do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Cause like I said before, you have to have thick skin and some intense willpower to make it through the shit that happens here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll be honest, I love streaming and everything, but even I'm surprised at myself that I've been able to handle the shit I've gone through. And I still want to stream and I still want to keep going and I don't feel discouraged from it. Like, I do have my ups and downs, obviously. That comes with streaming. Like, you're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs. There's times where you're going to feel like you're on top of the world. Like, I'm a fucking great streamer. And, like, there's going to be times where you're on the bottom and you're like, I'm a horrible streamer. I entertain nobody. Like, you're going to have those ups and downs. But when it comes to those serious situations that are actually, you know, messed up, like what I dealt with, like the dude making revenge adult material of somebody and the dude who was, like, trying to prey upon minors. Like,
oh, God.
that shit breaks people and that shit makes people, like, quit. And that's understandable. That's not against anybody who quits. I 100% respect it if you quit after dealing with that shit. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And it is not easy.
It's not.
But a big thing to know whenever you jump in here, just please be aware that when the serious shit comes down, you need to know if you're going to be somebody who can handle it.
Yeah.
Can you handle this? If you really want to go super far in this, in streaming, if you don't want it to just be a hobby and stuff, like if you have some big dreams like me, because I won't deny, I would love to be a big major streamer one day if I could. But it's the whole thing of, you need to make sure you can mentally handle this. You need to have the thick skin and the willpower and the ability to balance it so you can take care of your mental health.
Yeah.
You need to. And if you can't do that, I say step away. I say step away and do what you need to do to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
It's a hard truth. It's a sucky truth. But it is a truth you gotta hear.
Yeah, no, that, I mean, obviously, I 100% agree with that. I mean, that's like, I appreciate you saying that, because that's something that I feel like I talked about a little bit on my announcement stream, that, like, it's getting to the point where I can't handle the mental strain, because it is really freaking hard, and no one talks about it, like, how shitty it is to deal with, like, this constant moral battle, this constant, like, do I believe that they're a good person? Do I trust them? No, they're showing their true colors. Now they're trauma dumping. Now everything's going to shit.
It's like a huge card game that not everybody's up for.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you play it and you get a good hand. Sometimes you get a shit hand. Sometimes you have to sit out some round and just accept defeat. It's like, it's not an easy thing. And nobody talks about it with content creation. Even on the IRL side, I noticed. Yeah. But, like, you've got to have some certain willpower and stuff. You've got to. Mm-hmm. It comes with it. You have to either, like, work it up yourself and, like, get there, because, like, some people, obviously, they learn how to cope with it, they learn how to make it. Others just can't, and that's okay, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it comes with it, and it's a big major thing that nobody talks about. And I guess the hot take for that is you need to have a certain amount of self-discipline and self-care to make it as a streamer and keep streaming. Mm-hmm. And that's a just in general one for anybody, whether you be VTuber, IRL streamer, no kind of face cam at all streamer, like faceless, whatever you are, that's something you gotta take from this.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. Thank you, Senna, for talking about that. Talking about the hard-hitting stuff, the real journalism of VTubing here. Thank you.
Real hard truths and facts. that suck, but do need to be said.
Yeah. I definitely, like I said, I don't think VTubing long term is for the faint-hearted. You really need to like do it. Like you really need to like have, as you said, that tough skin, and you need to have a healthy mindset too. Like I can't imagine like, if I like during university was like the most stressful time of my life, and I feel like if I had tried to do VTubing during the most stressful time of my life, I would have been like, no. Like I would have definitely been down the shitter 100%.
Oh yeah, so I get that. There's certain points in my life that I look back on and say, if I started streaming back then, I would have fucking fried.
Yeah. But also recognize like I don't think people recognize when they're just, are you using like something like VTubing to ignore your problems and just like
are you using it as an escape, a coping mechanism? And it's not to say like, probably to some extent we all do to a little bit, like escape.
Yeah.
Do streaming and VTubing or stuff in general like that. Like to an extent, I'm not gonna deny that, because like maybe like for me, for instance, I'm gonna be honest, because of certain life situations, I don't really have like, I guess, a lot going on in my life. I don't have the opportunities to go out and do a whole lot because of certain life situations. So a lot of my life, like I said, and again, I that's why I try to be careful and self-aware, is like a lot of my life does go through the internet and stuff because I can't do a whole lot outside of my computer. There's not a lot I can go do. But it's a whole thing of like, you just gotta learn the balance. And again, like, you just gotta learn the balance, take care of that stuff, and it's not easy. And I get it.
Yep, not easy, and people around you don't make it any easier.
Oh, hell no, do they not?
No, they do not.
Even the people you think will be your best friends don't make it easier.
Oh, heck no. Those might even be the worst ones, because those are people that you think are like your friends tend to end up not well, at least in this community, tend to end up being the ones that make everything worse. So like, they just turn on you, and it's just like,
everything goes back to Kitty. I'm sorry.
No, dude.
Literally, Kitty was like a close friend, knew a lot of my business, knew a lot of my stuff, even like knew a lot of my traumas. And like, person you've been friends with for over a year, and you know just as much about them. And it's like, or you think you do. And it's like that whole thing of like, we're gonna be best friends, I can feel it in my bones. And then it just turns out right away they just immediately ditch you for something that's not even your fault, even, which also sucks a whole lot when you get ditched for something that's not even your fault.
Man. Well, speaking of that, everyone, we're ending the stream right now so that way I can go talk to Cinna and get all the actual tea. You don't get to hear it, but I do. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All the tea where Kōri gets the unfiltered tea.
Yes.
You guys get the filtered tea.
Unfiltered. Let's go. I'm just messing. But before we do a quick recap and start closing up, I wanted to ask you if you could share with us your favorite shit story.
My favorite shit story?
Yeah, poop has to be involved. If you're not uncomfortable with poop, you can talk about like gas.
Like actual like shit, like problems on the toilet.
Yeah, you gotta give me a shit story, so.
Okay, perfect one. I think I told you this one actually before.
Okay.
It's my least favorite and favorite one.
Oh dear.
Remember when I told you the story about the spider in the bathroom?
Yes.
I had gone in the bathroom one night.
Okay.
And I, in my sweet self, was just chilling out in my t-shirt, in my undiwears. I was like, just got up in the middle of the night, and I was like, I need to go use the restroom. I need to go le poop.
Yes.
So I went to the bathroom. I turned on the light, pulled down the pants and everything, was like, let's get to doing our business. And then I look over, like I said, and I see this big ass fucking spider, because there's like that double light switch, one for turning on the air vents in my bathroom, and then the other one for like turning on the light.
Right. Okay.
And I reached my hand over, and I had turned on the light when I first came in, and I look over now that I'm sitting on the toilet, and there's this big ass fucking spider, and I shit you not, I had shat And then I had screamed, stood up, backed out of the bathroom because there's 2 doors in my bathroom. One leads to like the main house bathroom. I have like a half bathroom to myself.
Okay.
So Cinna had got up, freaked out, tried to kill the spider. Spider was running off. Cinna didn't have anything else because she threw her one weapon, which was a shoe, a sandal, in the main bathroom. So I had run out into the hallway, ass in the wind and everything. Thankfully, it was the middle of the night, so nobody was there to see my ass out and about underneath my
ass
t-shirt.
in the wind.
My ass in the wind just like clapped. My cheeks clapping.
Alerting all the yeah.
Alerting everybody within a 9-mile vicinity. But thankfully nobody woke up. Nobody saw my ass cheeks hanging out. So I had to go back to my room. Because again, it's like my room leads to the hallway. And then there's my half bathroom, which has a door to the main bathroom. And main bathroom leads back to the main hallway upstairs. So I had to go through the main hallway, get back to my bathroom, checked my bathroom, and I was looking everywhere and I could not find this fucker. And I hated it so much to the point I'm like, I can't finish my business in here. So I flushed the toilet, went back to the main bathroom and finished my business, got all cleaned up, and then went back to bed, not being able to sleep because there was a spider on the loose.
Right.
That had scared me so bad, I had to run out the bathroom with my ass cheeks hanging out.
Oh my god, that's great. I'm glad that I love the ass cheeks hanging out comment. It's great.
Well, they were. They were. I just slept in a t-shirt and underwear, so like that's what happened.
Well, I'm glad that you survived.
I'm glad I survived too. That motherfucker was big and I still don't know where he went.
Oh my gosh. No.
It's been months and I still wonder if he's in the house somewhere.
How long is their like lifespans? Is it that long?
I have no clue. How long do spiders live?
That's a good question.
How long do spiders live? I'm Googling this.
Yeah, Google it.
Oh, 20 years in captivity.
In captivity?
In captivity, these motherfuckers live longer than I thought they did.
Oh no!
So then if you at least get half that, because wild animals and everything and other bugs eating them, that's still 10 years they can live.
Yeah, that's I'm sorry to say, Sana, but you're not gonna make it to next month. No, I'm kidding.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it here.
I like how you gave the spider like a show as well.
He got to see my ass cheeks.
Yeah.
And like literally yelped and was like, as I went out the bathroom.
That's beautiful. Thank you for the shit story.
You're welcome.
The shit tax for coming on the podcast. You have to give us a shit story. That's how it works.
Don't worry, I got you. I got shit stories, though that's the only one I have of me. I have more of my family.
I mean, you have to, all right? That's just blackmail material, and you need that on family. I'm just kidding. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. We can recap real quick. Did you want to do the recap, or do you want me to try to remember the recap? The recap.
The recap. I think you can do it, and I'll jump in if there's anything I think we missed.
Okay. All right. So, the first hot take that we discussed, that Cinna brought up and we discussed, was how VTubers are two-faced, which I 100% agree with. The second, oh yeah. I think like this is like a weird subject to talk about because like there's really sometimes it's hard to find the warning signs, but I think what we took away from that was mainly like, you know, protect yourself in ways that you're comfortable. Obviously
watch out for red flags.
Yeah, watch out for red flags. You know, you don't have to sit there and just accept someone being rude or making you uncomfortable. Like, if you have to, you know, fade out in the distance, or if you have to, you know, block or ban, feel free to do that. You know, it's your content. You're in control of yourself and your content. The second...
Yeah, if you got a dip, just...
Yep.
Just dip.
Just yeet out of there.
Just dip.
Yeah. And the second one was talking about how it was the fake one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
People being fake.
People being fake. People are fake, and it is true. The VTuber community. I think it goes kind of, it's like you said, it goes along the lines of the first hot take, but it just sucks. Like, I think what I've experienced is just like VTubers are one way in like the public sector of social media, right? You're like on stream, they'll be cool. On Twitter, they're like, okay, they're cool. And then all of a sudden when you pass this threshold into like a private setting such as Discord DMs, right? It starts getting really wonky. And I think people start to show their real, like their true colors when they think they have you alone. You know, it's almost like putting you into like a corner, which really it's really shitty. But yeah, and I think I didn't mention this earlier, but to add on to that, like about the fakeness and the two-facedness, there's a lot of people that I've found are manipulative, and I mean that's like in any community. Oh, yeah. But a lot in the VTubing community, like I've literally had people try to say shit about like people that were like, for example, like Serenity be like, this isn't actually what happened, obviously, but I've literally had someone be like, oh, Serenity, like, do you actually even like Serenity? Like, Serenity's kind of like weird. Serenity has said this before, and like, you know, I feel like Serenity is like lying about a lot of things. And
that's so weird. Like, obviously I get along with this person. Of course I like this person. What the fuck?
Yeah, I've really had people like, but I think I didn't realize this until afterwards, but I think what that person was trying to do was basically try to turn me against people that I already like cared about and knew. Does that make any sense?
My God. Yeah. No, I get that. That Norwegian man, I think that's what he was trying to do. He never said it, but I'm pretty sure that's why he was venting to me, was to turn me against Kitty.
Oh, that's really shitty. What an awful way to, like, what a just a weird way to go about things. You know, like, just why do you have to go about it this way? It's so
why
weird.
do you gotta be a manipulative asshole?
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Serenity is not this way. All right, chat.
Serenity is a sweetie.
do not, I swear it wasn't Serenity. Oh, well, obviously Serenity... Wait, now I'm confusing myself with what I said. I'm having a raccoon brain right
Serenity
now.
Was the example.
Right, Serenity was
Serenity
the example.
Is not actually, like, in any drama or anything. Serenity's just a sweetie.
Yes, exactly. And someone was trying to turn me against Serenity, which was just crazy. Anyway, sorry, I know that I forgot to mention that earlier because you were talking about so many great things. But yeah, no, thank you for bringing that up because I definitely relate to that about VTubers being fake. And your third point was that this VTubing community is just as dangerous as any other community, and 100% agree with that. There's predators anywhere and everywhere on the internet. The VTubing community is not exempt from that. In fact, let's just all assume that it's even worse, because guess what? We're all hiding behind avatars.
Yeah. And people get more confident when they aren't showing their face. But there is a literal saying. Who is it from? I think it was Mike Tyson that said, social media made y'all way too comfortable with shit talking people not getting punched in the face.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. My God.
It's like, that's the truth. Like, that is a truth, and like, again, it's dangerous.
It is.
There are predators, and I don't just mean, like, again, predators towards minors, sexual predators towards females or males, predators who are manipulative and just want to use you, predators who are dangerous and will try to make revenge adult material of you if they got your face and stuff, and will use AI and stuff, because that's stuff you gotta worry about now.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I was raised to always be afraid of the internet, and like, obviously I got, not that I got comfortable, but like I understood those things, and then like I joined the VTubing community, and then I was really afraid of the internet. So, you know, it's like, as
there's
an adult,
nothing that will instill fear into the internet. There's nothing that will instill fear in you quite like the VTuber community.
Yeah, 100%. So please be careful. Don't share personal information. You know, just, yeah, and obviously look for red flags and warning signs. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of evil, unfortunately, is the hot take. No, kidding. All of the hot take is that the general, all those three just sum up to the VTuber community. There's so much evil in it, and no, don't trust anyone. No, I'm just kidding. But just be careful who you trust. I think, as you said it, just be careful who you trust and
protect yourself and take precautions.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, that's what we talked about today, and it was awesome, and it's nice to hear your perspective. Thank you for sharing your experiences. Thank you for coming on today. Thank you for giving us some advice and, you know, potential ways that we can move past or around these certain issues within the VTubing community. And obviously warnings for those of you who want to get into VTubing. These are some real things that really no one talks about. So
everybody likes to make it sunshine and rainbows, but you do need to hear the tough truths. It prepares you.
Yeah. 100%. It does. It doesn't. No one prepares you, and then you get into it, and then you're just like screwed. So.
Well, at least they'll give you a general idea. I can't say prepare, but definitely will give you a general idea.
Yeah, that's true. You'll be a little bit more aware of it for sure. Yeah. But thank you, Senna. Do you let us know what's going on with Senna? What are you up to? What anything fun or you know, projects you've got planned that you want to share, or how are you feeling?
Well, currently, Senna's kind of vibing. If you've heard my story, I'm kind of fighting to get my model right now rigged. That's a whole story I won't go too deep dive into, but basically, it's just taking longer than it should.
Yeah.
Beyond that, that's like the only thing really stopping me from having a new live 2D debut. But once I get that back, I'll have like a whole really good debut and everything I have planned. Beyond that, Senna is messing with doing song covers and stuff, just practicing and stuff, because I'm still learning. And learning I am, because vocals are something else. I've never realized how many times I'm gonna have to re-record one single singing line because I didn't hit the note right, or the note doesn't sound good with my voice.
I feel that.
It's tough.
Yeah, like really hard.
Yeah, like I'm trying to do covers. I'm like, okay, I can't hit every high note. I need to figure out my own way of singing this if I can't hit these high notes. And that's currently what I'm learning.
Have you tried to find like the song in a lower octave?
I have found a few in lower octaves. Like one example is like New Genesis from the One Piece movie. I really love that song, and I was trying it out. And like not all of that song is like high pitched notes and stuff. I have found some like instrumentals and stuff that were like, you know, lower octaves and everything.
Yeah.
And that made it a little bit easier, because while I can do some high notes, my voice breaks often because I'm a lower tone than I am higher.
Right. Okay. Alto.
Yeah, I'm definitely lower in the vocal status with that stuff. So like while I can hit high notes, it is good for me to find songs or like versions of instrumentals for songs I've discovered with like making them lower. So for me, I'm currently just experimenting with covers, no like set cover to come out or anything, but like I'm practicing.
Yeah, honestly, like that's like the biggest thing. Like, sorry, not to interrupt you. I was just gonna say that like the fact that you're practicing and like figuring that out is like huge. You know, like a lot of people don't figure that out and don't practice.
You have to practice and learn.
Well, you would think, but there's a lot of quote unquote V singers that don't. No, I'm kidding. But not me calling anyone out. Me getting canceled.
Weird to me. That's so weird to me that they don't think to practice.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm gonna get canceled, I swear. But I just
no, I understand.
I just feel like there's a lot of people who put V singer in their bio, but I don't see any improvement over the last, you know, like or I don't see any effort. They kind of just like say that they are because they've done karaoke a couple times and think like their friends told them that they sound good, but like they're not taking classes, or I'm not saying you have to take classes, but like they're not practicing or trying to learn more about like what their range. Like I don't know how many times, like it's like, here's an example, like people that want to sing Ariana Grande whistle notes, and they try to, but they don't know how to, but they think that they do. You know what I mean? Like they just sing Ariana Grande because they think that it sounds good, and for whatever reason, like they just keep singing Ariana Grande because they think they can also do that, but they're not trained on doing a whistle note, so they just kind of scream.
I want to sing super high notes. Like there's a cover artist named Jubiphonic that's a VTuber, and like she can do super fucking high notes. Like she sings Vocaloid songs kind of high notes. I wish I could hit those high notes like Hatsune Miku, Tell Your World. Like I would love to hit those notes, but I know I can't because I'm not trained for those notes.
Yeah.
Or my voice may not just ever be able to hit that high.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to break your voice. Like, if you're not trained, then you shouldn't do it, because you could like really hurt your voice.
You gotta learn to sing in your own way. Put your own spin on things.
Exactly. And honestly, like, I feel like, and I'm sure you agree with this, but I feel like, honestly, people like hype up the high notes way too much. Like, there is so much beauty and quality sound in lower notes as well. You just gotta figure like out where you're comfortable. And I feel like that's like, honestly, that's like 70% of the battle is like being comfortable with your voice. That's like, that from what I've found, but I think you're on the right track, and thank you for practicing and putting in that effort, because not because a lot of people don't, but you know, I think it's important, and it shows that you are working hard. Okay? Heck yeah.
Beyond the covers, I haven't done too much else. The only thing I really do, I do have a few other ideas I want to work on, but like they're on the back burner currently. But beyond that, the biggest other thing I really have to say is, like, I guess I just do clips and stuff every day, and I'm always trying to improve my editing. So then, like, there's clips every day I post, and I edit every day, and I try to learn a little more every day.
And they're all amazing. Please do check out those clips.
Thank you.
The highlight of the day is the Cine clip, all right? Seeing the Cine clip, like, I swear, like, almost like, not whenever I first check Twitter for most days, like, the first thing on my feed is your clip. And I was like, yippee! Yippee!
The only day I don't post is on Sundays. That's my day.
You take that day.
That's the only day I do nothing else but just exist.
You take that day. Everyone deserves that day to just exist. That's good. Sorry, I'm burping.
Anyway. Don't worry, I understand.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming onto the show today.
Thank you for having me on. It was an honor, and I absolutely loved it.
Yes. Is there anything that, like, you would want to talk about on the podcast again in the future? Any ideas?
I feel like actual things we've learned that help with VTubing and make it easier would be great to talk about. Like, for me, for instance, like, I've seen a lot of people be like, how do you make thumbnails? Or how do you guys making these thumbnails to having to buy, like, Photoshop and stuff? And, like, I can give actual advice on that, because I use Medibang to make my thumbnails, and I don't have to pay for Medibang because it's free. And it is an art program, but you could just put PNGs and stuff in there. And, like, I feel like it'd be cool to talk about stuff like that. Like, alternate programs you can use to make things easier. Free things you can use. Things you can get at a discount. Things you can buy that all around do everything for you. Like, oh, you can buy this and you can use a live 2D or a 3D model with this. Oh, you can use this and you don't have to pay for this to do a thumbnail or a banner or a panel. You can do this and you can export this into a PSD file to get rigged. You don't have to go to this expensive program to be able to do that. It's stuff like that. I feel like that would be a really fun podcast stream to talk about.
That's a great idea. I think we definitely, not we, but a lot of VTubers tend to gatekeep that kind of information of, like, what programs to use and whatnot, for sure. And also,
it's so weird, the gatekeeping.
Oh yeah, but to be fair, like, there's gatekeeping is one thing, but also I feel like I've mentioned the things that I use for things like that before. And sorry, this isn't calling anyone out, but I just mean like I know people have mentioned it before, like, with the things that they use and whatnot, and there's a lot of people that just don't listen. Like, unless your video is literally called, like, here's how you, and then whatever question they're looking for, you know what I mean? Like, that, they don't really listen, or, like, they don't remember, or don't they retain it, you know what I mean? Like, they just forget, and, like, 5 minutes later, which is fair, it's the internet, you know, there's so much going on.
It's funny, I consider doing TikToks like that, but then sometimes I'm like, would anybody even listen, or would it be something where it goes in one ear and out the other?
You mean like the help, like the VTuber help TikToks? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like the actual helpful ones where I'm like, hey, you can do this instead of this. This is what I've learned you can do, and all that nice jazz.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the one thing about, like, doing the help stuff, like the VTuber help stuff, is like then people are only following you, or not only, but most people are only following you to like get that VTuber help when they don't actually care about like you as a creator, which that's just how it is like on any platform. It's just the reality of like what we do. But it can be a little bit
part of what makes it hard to be an influencer is like people expect a certain theme from you every time, and it's hard when you're a variety person. It's like, oof, they're all expecting this one thing from me now that I've done it lately, but it's like, that's not my only thing I do.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like you said, like you can make a video, like people have made so many videos on like VTuber help stuff, and I feel like just look it up. If you really wanted to like learn about it, then you should look it up. And
there are so many things you can just Google.
Yeah. But I agree with you. I think like it's always nice to be able to share information, and obviously like when you're doing VTubing on a budget or no budget, it's good to know like what programs exist, because even I don't know.
I'm in that no budget category. I'm shit. Everything I get, I save months for. I spend like next to almost nothing on VTubing stuff. Like that's why a majority of my stuff, you'll rarely see credits on stuff, because a lot of it's made by me. I learned to do a lot of what I have because I had to, because I was broke as shit.
Felt. Thank you, Cinna.
Still broke as shit.
Aren't we all? VTubing is just like a broke, like you just can't not be broke when you do
living
VTubing.
That starving artist life, honestly.
Exactly, starving artist life. Anyway, all right. We will begin to wrap up here. Thank you, Cinna, for coming on. It was a blast. It was a pleasure. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for opening yourself up to us.
Thanks for the wonderful time. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all of you too, of course.
Thank you, Cinna. Thank you. I hope you have a great night and
you
rest
too.
well. Yes. Thank you, Cinna. I will definitely reach out to you to get all of the unfiltered tea. All right, because screw chat. Yeah. I'm gonna do it just out of spite to chat.
You heard her. Screw you guys.
Yeah. Exactly. But thank you, Cinna, and thank you for being such a great homie, a great supporter, a great streamer, content creator. Not just to me, but to your community as well. You're super appreciated, and keep doing what you do, because it's inspiring a lot of us. So thank you.
Aww.
I'm gonna
you.
Lean over and give you a little nibble. Come here. Yeah, come here. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to drop off and start closing up the podcast. But have a wonderful night. And
goodbye,
take care.
everybody.
Yay! Thank you, Santa. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Let's go. Thank you, Cinna. You're the bestest. You're the bestest around. Look at that beautiful fade away, by the way. Thank you, Cinna, for the fade away. Very cute. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out tonight and for supporting Cinna. Again, if you want to check out Cinna, please do check out her Twitch link in the description below. You can also find her YouTube added in the title. Cinna's absolutely an absolute joy. I've always loved how engaging Cinna is on her stream. She's so chatty and cursed and creepy and cute all at the same time. All the great C's, obviously. I ironically did that. And yeah, please check Cinna out. Cinna's got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and I know that I'm excited for it. Okay, so let's fucking hype that shit up. All right, so please do check out Cinna. And take care, everybody. Have a good night. I will see you when I see you. I am streaming tomorrow. I might stream tonight. I'm not sure yet, but I am streaming for sure tomorrow, Sunday night at 6 p.m. PST. The Phasmophobia stream that got rescheduled. It's rescheduled tomorrow night. So I will definitely be live tomorrow night. There you go. But yeah, I'll see y'all soon, hopefully, and if not, have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please support Cinna, and have a good night. Okay, I'm gonna eat this mic. Okay, bye.